things you did for Mom in her last years, and I think that would be interesting for all my kids.
One in Woodway, I reckon, out in that log cabin in the middle of the field somewhere over there. January 11th, 1931. Tail end of a long bunch. And went to school at Oak Grove, Jonesville, Robbins Chapel, Bennington. What else you want to know?
Well, just start from your early memories of your childhood, who you played with, what you did, your experiences with Mom and Dad,
Well,
your mean escapades. just anything.
I was the spoiled brat of the tail end.
You were the baby, my
older
baby sister.
brothers and spoiled by my older brothers and sisters, most of them, and of course my dad, and Mom later. My memories of Mom are not as rough as some of the older ones, because I had Dad there for protection. When I'd get into something, I'd head to the hills till he came home, and then I would come home, and he wouldn't let Ma touch me. We'd sneak off and go swimming, got into a lot of dangerous activities, which we were lucky, had that guardian angel watching over us, I reckon. And then with my, well, you and I were home, of course I remember more so than the rest of them, pestering you to death and squalling like a wild cat because you wouldn't let me do something or follow you where you went.
Did you go tell Mom when we wouldn't let you do something, and would she sometimes make us let you do
Sometimes
things?
she'd insist, but y'all still sneak off and leave me, which I don't blame you now. I would have too, because I couldn't cover the territory at that time that you all could, and sneaking off and going into caves and this, that, and the other. But if I told Mom y'all intended to go in the cave, then half the time y'all get to stay at home too. She would let y'all know.
We'd have to sneak off, wouldn't we?
And that's the reason you just
We got so many weapons.
We get aggravated at me because I'd squeal on you. And of course I toddled around behind Dad going fishing, and where he'd go, I'd go.
Did Dad ever let you fish when you
Oh, yeah,
went fishing?
I reckon that's the reason I love to fish today is because
See,
going with him.
I don't recall ever going fishing with my dad. So you've got a little more attention then from Mom and Dad than the rest of
I
us.
reckon Dad must have realized that I was the last. I don't know why he, well, of course, a lot of them had left home, but, you know, married, I can't ever remember Maudie being at home and hard.
You remember Alice, I guess.
Yeah.
She told me that she used to take care of me when I was little, and then she also got the job taking care of you, and she remembers even taking care of Wes' son.
Well, when after Alice got married, would go home with her. I know one time I learned I don't know what she was planning the next day, but she'd curl my hair, and in the middle of the night, I took a fit crying to go home. I guess if I'd been there, I might have run my neck.
Did she take you home?
They had to get up and take me home. I was just small, but I remember. Go to the grocery store and go with Mom and Dad, and so we could pick out the chop sacks and the feed sacks and all that stuff according to what we wanted to dress, while we pick out the sacks, and Mom would take them home, make a dress out of it.
Well, I remember making dresses out of feed sacks. Did you learn this? Did Mom teach you to sew? Well, see, now that's one thing that she taught me, and Alice said she never would let her touch the machine. And that's the first time I realized that she didn't let the others sew. But as soon as I could reach the pedal on that machine, you know, and feed the material through that old treadle machine, she put me up there.
Sister-in-law, Jean, started teaching me to sew, and Mom, of course, she wasn't doing it right. I wasn't doing it right. Well, Jean would quit. Mom would start. That was after I was married, I guess. And I just got disgusted and quit. Okay, far, I can't please either one of them. Should get those white sacks.
Let me check this
To
out.
have better fat, right across the hind end when she'd make her bloomers out of them. I had one that had 50 pound weight and 100% butter fat.
On your
On the
bloomers?
seat of my bloomers.
God. Let me make sure I'm getting this. If I'm not, I'm gonna be sick.
Yeah, getting back to them long handled drawers and one's elastic
Bloomers.
bloomers and all that stuff. I think all of us sort of hate devils things. We get out of sight of them and we'd roll them down like anklets. Of course, Mom was concerned for her health, but I know when you wore the long handles, one of the older ones turned about, you get out of sight and pull them off. Said you came home one afternoon and it's cold as weather, but you had the arms, those long handles tied, dragging them down the road behind you. I don't think Mom ever made you wear them anymore after that. She got those down to knee lengths then instead of long handle. And those old brown ribbed socks. I don't know if you had to wear them or not, but that's what she put on me when I graduated to the short underwear instead of them dang longs.
Did you ever go to Jonesville to school?
Yeah.
That's where you went to elementary.
Well, yeah,
And how many years of high school at Jonesville?
I went to high school at Pennington.
Pennington all the time, huh? 'Cause see, you're 4 years behind me. You were way behind me.
And I started in the 7th at Robbins Chapel, and that's when we pushed the toilet over the hillside and this, that, and the other. And then the last half of the 7th, I stayed with Alice and went to Jonesville. But then in the 4th grade, and things forth, I went to Jonesville.
So Alice took care of us quite a bit then.
Yeah, she sure did.
I think that's why I have such a warm. She told me she used to rock me a lot, and I said, "You suppose that's why I remember you a lot more than I do, Mom?" That's a bad thing to say, but she said Mom used to have the older ones. Well, I guess she had to. With that many kids, she had to have some help.
Well, poor Ma had it rough feeding that many. And of course, during the Depression, I guess we starved to death. We hadn't lived on a farm. We had our own milk, and meat, eggs, chickens, and of course raised corn, had our meal ground. And
All those canned green beans.
we canned just a little bit of all the vegetables and picked berries and all those goodies. So I can't ever remember not having enough food. Now I know Mom said there was, when I was little, that to save my diapers, that she would take the boys' old worn out jeans, the bottom part below the knees, and she would make me a cover for my diapers so I could scoot around on my butt without running my diapers.
I thought she made you a diaper out of them. I was going to say, boy,
Got some
you
rough,
have a
wouldn't
tough hiney if you put up with that.
But yeah, we got along because later in life when she began to get puny and everything, the rest of them couldn't get along with her because, well, I'd fuss with her. I didn't pay attention to her and she'd fuss it with me. She didn't want to take a bath. Dad said she's so dang contrary, she fell in the river, she'd float upstream. But anyhow, I was getting ready to take her to the doctor for a checkup, and I said, "No, we got to take a bath." "No, wash my face and my feet, and that's all." I said, "No, it's what's in between there that needs washing, honey." But I could con her into most anything.
Now she stayed here next door for a long time, I guess, after Dad died.
Yeah, and then broke up housekeeping at Bruce and Frankie wanted her to come stay with them. That didn't pan out. She started staying with Ayla and Hart, Alice and Coy, and Maudie, and that didn't work out, so we just got the little trailer and put it in the backyard where she could live like she wanted to, and she seemed seemed happy there. Of course, she could have her cat and do the suit herself. And of course, in later years, or later months, she got so bad that I had to bring her into the house with me and take care of her.
How long did you have her in the house before she died?
I don't even remember. It wasn't too awful long. I know there's times we kept IVs going and stuff just so that she could be at home, and Clarence was really good to help me with it. So it worked out all right, I reckon.
See, she died in, do you remember the year she died?
Yeah, July 77.
77, so,
July the 5th, I think.
yeah.
But, I don't know, Mom.
And she lived then 7 or 8 years after Dad died, didn't she?
Dad died in 64.
64.
But Lord, that Dad, he was a wonderful feller.
Yeah, he
I
was.
think about half these bums in town owed him money. He wouldn't say no. He'd always say, now, if you can't say something good about somebody, just don't say anything at all.
Yeah. And he just died in his sleep, or did he have heart failure?
No, he called, Mom called over here and said there was something wrong with him, and she had called, and Dr. Kerrison came by and gave him a shot. And said he had slid out of bed. She was trying to change his underwear. He was sweating terrible, and the time I got over there and picked him up, and he died in my arms.
Hmm. And what did they think it was?
Well, you know, he had emphysema, black lung, and all of that good stuff. But I don't know. I wondered, still wonder what kind of shot he got that morning. Never know, I guess.
The doctor had left before he died?
Yeah, he hadn't been gone too awful long.
Well, he was about 85, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was in bad health,
But he was still getting around and...
oh yeah. Yeah, he took some kind of pills to make him sleep at night if he couldn't rest good, and he must have took more than he's supposed to one night. Mom couldn't handle him. She hollered at me to come over and take him to the bathroom. He started and he dropped his drawers. They just slid plumb down. I got tickled at him. He didn't even remember it. And I was talking to him. I said, Dad, I'm going to quit taking you to the bathroom if you don't quit losing your drawers on me. He said, honey, did I do that? But he was a precious man, and he loved all of his young'uns.
He did. We all knew that. Well, so did Mom. She
Oh,
just
she
had
did,
difficulty
but
showing it.
she mellowed a lot in her later years.
And see, since I left home at just barely 17, all of my memories are prior to 17, and other than visits back. I always enjoyed the visits back here. I always enjoyed visiting with her and Dad.
Evidently, most of them did, because when I was little, on Sunday, there would be a house full, and Ma would cook in that old coal wood stove, and it hot, and so evidently they enjoyed being home, but they wouldn't all come home on
I
Sunday.
think it was the green beans and fatback.
Yep, I'd say so.
When Bessie died, or not, yeah. No, let's go back a little earlier than that. When Bessie had Kennard, you were about 3 years old. Do you remember playing much with Kennard, or you remember him being around as a tiny tot?
Yeah, quite a bit. I know when we were in Cooney Hollow, she was with us. And of course, we kept Kendra when she went to Catawba and played in the creek.
And she was up there a couple of years, wasn't she?
Yeah, but she wouldn't stay. Of course, a lot of them said that's the reason she didn't get well, that treatment was quite different then than it is now. It wouldn't have been any problem at all, but Karen was more like a brother, really, than a nephew.
He's sort of to you like Wes was to me.
Then after we moved up in the crab orchard, we roamed the mountains and Of course, Glenn joined us quite a bit then. He liked to
Who?
stay with
Glenn?
Mom and Dad, yeah. And,
Glenn was a bit older than you two, isn't he? Or is he about the same age?
No, I think he's between me and Ken. Karen's 3 years younger
Oh,
than
then
me.
you
so-
three, I bet, were quite the tribe there.
Yeah, it's like the wild broncos of the mountains. One didn't pick on one of us, so they had all three of us to gang up on. Me as the Dickens, swing out on grapevines over the mountains and cliffs, and have had them to pull out with us. Golly.
Must be why you and I are more like tomboys, or more like, we think, I guess, more like men. More like, I don't know, there's never been any, I can't do this or I can't do that, like some women think only men can do. And I've never noticed that in the Gilbert family too much.
Mm-hmm.
That's because each of us had a fella to grow up with, and we were always showing them how to do things, I guess.
Yeah. I had to be rough because with Karen Gill, Glenn is my primary playmates. Why, of course, Maudie's daughter was a little bit younger than me. We ran around together some, quite a bit, or she'd spend summers with us. Yeah, of course, then I got married barely out of my cradle, and
How old were you when you got married?
I was only 15.
And you were in the 10th grade?
Would have gone into the 10th.
So did you ever go back and get your general education diploma?
No, I went back to cosmetology school, got my license in cosmetology.
Worked as a beautician for a long, long time, didn't you?
Not too long, went to flare shop, worked as florist, and then I went to the hospital and worked for 10 years as a nursing assistant. And I enjoyed that more than anything. I think if I had my druthers, I would have preferred to have been a nurse to anything. Because in hairdressing, these old women come in, that ain't right, do it this way, do it that way, and I didn't have the patience to stand there and do it.
Yeah, I imagine that's a pretty hard job.
Some of them called until you'd worn their shampoo before they got to the shop.
Well, it is cold when you get that old shampoo on your head.
Well, you're supposed to put it in your hand and rub it together and then put it in the hair. Do like Vibe. She started cutting a woman's hair one day and she asked for a shingle. Well, of course, a shingle's right up the back.
Yeah.
Vibe started cutting and said, that one, oh my God, and started crying, you're ruining me. Vibe said, well, you asked for a shingle. But that's not what I meant. Vibe said, well, do you want me to finish cutting your hair, or do you want to get the hell out of here? So that would have been probably about the kind of beautician I would have been.
Yeah. This was Sister Vibe.
Yeah.
Well, she's still in the business, I guess.
She's still working. I think
Speaking of Vibe, have you been up there and seen her shop or anything? She have it in the house, or?
No, it's downtown, and we went down one time, and she had a real nice shop. Went down, I shampooed somebody's hair while we were down there. Hairs, I guess, what little Dabby had.
Have you heard from Vibe lately?
No, been quite a while. I've talked to her on the phone a few times since we were up there last November, I guess.
So she's still working full time then, huh?
No, she just works, I think, about 3 days a week. I think she does that to get away from Howard, so she have some. She couldn't stand it to stay there all the time.
I can understand that. Howard must be close to 90. Is he that old?
He might be, but it don't seem
He
like
about
it to
20
me.
years older than Vibe. And let's see, Vibe must be about 67. 67, so 87. That'd make
So
him.
he might be getting pretty close to 90.
Yeah. Well, you remember when Kennard moved in with you right after his mother died?
Yeah.
He mentioned that he couldn't have asked for better care and love and attention. So they must have been really good to him, Mom and Dad.
They were. Of course, when me and him got into it, Dad was on my side.
Was Mom on Kennard's side?
Mom was on Kidder's side. One night I smacked him, blooded his nose or something. We were fighting, and I'm the biggest coward that ever lived anyhow, afraid of the dark. And Dad was way back on the hill burning green sage. Man alive, I made me a path up that hillside. Mom came after me with the razor strop. So I disappeared.
And where was Kennard while all this was going on?
It was task force now. He had something, you just touch his nose and it would bleed anyway. But he could swallow that I'd blooded his nose, and Mom beat my rear.
So you didn't escape the paddlings either?
No, I didn't. Except when I could hide. She just gave me some goodness. Tell you go feed the chicken, build a fire in the stove, and you dare say I can't do two things at once. God, dog. Throw a stick of wood at you and kick at you as you go out the door. But she never really hurt me that bad, except that one time she beat me at the buckle end of the belt because I wasn't wearing big long-legged bloomers and socks or orange pair of pants. And of course, Babe stepped in and got the belt and told her that was enough. But
Babe was grown then, wasn't she?
yeah, she was. Davis was overseas, and her and Wes were staying with us.
Oh. Well, then you
See,
got...
that's where I got all my good spoiling with this and come and stay while that one's gone, and this, that, and the other.
You got attention from Alice and Babe and Bessie, and I don't know about Maudie. Well, probably not Maudie so much. You were...
You know, Karen said he remembered jumping in the river that day and Johnny pulling him out. And he said, Willie, they had to pull her out one time too, so I think we've all been pulled out.
That same hole, or was it different places?
No, it was different places.
Because Har told me about catching me going down the river in the boat.
But I didn't remember Willie falling out and getting pulled out. But I guess there's a lot of that stuff you just sort of block out. Let's close this thing off here.
Huh?
I said, let's close this thing off here.
I was going to try to close the sound off because, well, we can pause right now. And I say I don't see anything.
So you want another crusade? You want another bud? Draft or bottle? Bud? Draft or bottle?
Or a glass of rosé.
Rosé? Margarita? Coke?
They got me a cake and it has on there.
Danielle.
Happy birthday, lady. That's what I drop.
And there's Scott.
It's supposed to be a men's party.
And Landy, which we can't see because she's kind of dark.
Don't hurt the camera.
Tom. Soon. How old are you, Bob? How old are you, Bob? 30? 33. Again, I didn't have it on record. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
Do what now?
Happy birthday, dear Bob. Happy birthday to you. And many more.
I'll let him find all these colors.
Rap with me, Jack. My name is Tony, and I have some interesting news. Equal lots of cheese on the chips you'll choose. The leading nachos are just ordinary. Eagle chips are better, excuse my nacho theory, and my distinguished colleague, he loves this Jack. Confirm my opinion and take it, Jack.
I don't think you were supposed to get in that one.
It
Took you a while to get that one open, didn't it?
Specially marked bags of Eagle nacho cheese and ranch tortilla chips.
Well, if you don't catch a fish, you won't be because of no lure.
Got lots of lures to lose now.
Sunday
Sunday, the producers of Married with Children invite you to check into a hospital where the sickest people are not the patients.
Help it on your feet fast, and then you can say, the pain, the pain.
It's the series premiere of Rachel
Hey,
Gunn
she
RN,
did fishes
right after
in the
Living
water.
Color. And later that night on Down the Shore, Aldo and Zach are living in the same beach house for the summer. But this Sunday, they'll be sharing more than the rent.
Zach, you're on my thing.
It's an all-new Down the Shore.
Scott, are we
right after
keeping you
Herman's
up?
Head.
I believe Danielle's tired too.
She don't feel good.
She doesn't.
Really interesting camera work there.
Huh?
That'll be something better you can be filming.
I'm gonna try a new style.
Is this from you?
Yes.
Didn't have nothing on it.
When I put that pile down, I said that's for me.
I'm gonna try a new style on fixing this rubber worm.
Now, when you order any dinner-size pizza from Pizza Hut delivery, just say free Pepsi, and you'll get an ice-cold 4-pack of Pepsi absolutely free.
Check your local listings for the delivery unit nearest you.
Solid value game exclusively at the local Chevrolet deal dealers. We're out to make June our biggest track month ever, so for 10 days, save big.
No more batteries.
No.
Prices slashed just for this event. Solid value day. This time,
Hey, spotlight those fish.
we are going to reduce our inventory. Cash back
Kathy got me. I need to wait. This back there. Let's shine the light all over the house.
Rowland drives into a residential neighborhood. Rips off the car.
This man stole this necklace and sold me one. I am an honest businessman.
Those are all diamonds.
It's a murder case now, Mr. Benson.
I want my necklace and I'm willing to pay for it.
Next year's uniform for basketball.
Sir, Outback.
Outback Resort.
Australia.
Yeah, I'm gonna be cool next year on the court.
Yeah, I know. Gee, how did you hold it? Now you won't hurt your toes on the rocks.
Just sunburn them.
How far are you gonna be doing a rain dance? This guy was probably dead before they torched him.
Thanks. That's really nice. We're going on vacation. Who's still there?
This is more.
Pizza? You're saying? Yeah. Finally get Glenn his back. Finally get Glenn his back. I wouldn't. Called for